Trump targets Apple and the EU with new tariffs. Germany sends troops abroad for the first time since World War II. Airline satisfaction is finally on the rise. And Team USA moves on in hockey. Plus, today's trivia, which state is home to the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise? It's Saturday, May 24th. This is the Flyover Podcast. Welcome to the Flyover Podcast, taking you above the noise for an unbiased, high-altitude view of today's headlines with daily coverage that's honest and refreshing. Let's cruise the news and land the facts. Hey there, and happy Saturday. I don't know about you, but the more moms I talk to lately, the more I hear the same thing. May is basically the new December. Nonstop events, last-minute signups, and end-of-the-year chaos, all wrapped in a bow. At our house, the school year is officially in the rearview mirror. My kids are out for summer, and while I'm fully embracing the break from structure for now, I already know I'll be craving a little routine again soon. I'm curious, do you feel that too? If you've got school-aged kids or love someone who does May feel just as hectic as the holidays? Let me know in the comments. Consider this our unofficial Flyover poll of the day. All right, we've got headlines to hit, stories to break down, and plenty of fun to have on this Saturday. Let's get ready for takeoff. Let's get into today's top headlines. First up, President Trump is turning up the heat on trade. On Friday, he called for 50% tariffs on the European Union starting June 1st. And warned that Apple could face a 25% tariff if it doesn't move iPhone manufacturing back to the U.S. Trump said he's not looking to negotiate. We've set the deal, he said, it's at 50%. Apple shares dropped 3% after the announcement. Meanwhile, beef prices are breaking records just in time for Memorial Day weekend. Ground beef hit an average $5.80 a pound in April, up nearly 50% from 5 years ago. Economists expect prices to keep rising this summer, with demand up and cattle herds at a 74-year low due to drought and disease. Finally, airline passengers are feeling better about flying. Satisfaction with U.S. airlines rose 6 points in 2024, according to a year-long survey. Travelers cited lower fares and less crowded planes as the top reasons. Among airlines, JetBlue ranked highest for premium service, Delta took the lead in premium economy, and Southwest topped the list for economy and basic economy travelers. From big mergers to campus debates, here's what's making political news today. We began with a major reversal from the White House. President Trump on Friday approved the merger of U.S. Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel, reversing a decision by former President Biden to block the deal earlier this year on national security grounds. Trump said the partnership would create 70,000 jobs and add $14 billion to the U.S. economy. He also confirmed U.S. Steel will keep its headquarters in Pittsburgh, with most of the investment rolling out over the next 14 months. Shares of U.S. Steel jumped more than 20% following the announcement. Next, a major legal deal involving Boeing. On Friday, the company avoided criminal prosecution by agreeing to a Department of Justice settlement. The $1.1 billion deal stems from 2 deadly 737 MAX crashes that killed 346 people. Turning to the courts, a federal judge in Boston has temporarily halted the Trump administration's ban on Harvard enrolling international students. The ruling came just hours after Harvard filed a lawsuit challenging the policy. That suit followed the Department of Homeland Security's decision to revoke the university's ability to accept foreign students under the F-1 visa program, citing what it called an unsafe campus environment, including harassment of Jewish students. The case is now on hold pending a court hearing set for Tuesday. Meanwhile, tensions are rising inside the Democratic Party. The Democratic National Committee is facing internal tension over the results of its recent vice chair elections. Next month, members will vote on whether to redo the elections that seated Pennsylvania Representative Malcolm Kenyatta and activist David Hogg. The call for a do-over stems from a challenge filed by Oklahoma DNC member Kaylin Free, who argued the process unfairly disadvantaged women candidates. If members vote to restart the process, new electronic elections will take place in mid-June. Both Kenyatta and Hogg oppose redoing the vote, warning it could undermine the confidence in the party's ability to run a fair election. And finally, a new poll is offering a snapshot of how parents feel about college policies. Most said they oppose using race in scholarship or hiring. On transgender issues, 60% said transgender competitors shouldn't be allowed in women's sports, and 61% want women's bathrooms reserved for biological females. The poll, conducted May 9th through the 15th, surveyed over 1,000 parents of teens and college-age students. Respondents identified as 43% Republican, 34% Democrat, and 21% Independent. All right, I get it. You've heard me say this before, but if you've been half listening the last few days, now might be the time to lean in. Because this isn't just another company. It's one that's already making moves in a big way. Let me put this in perspective. Picasso is backed by heavy hitters like SoftBank and Mavron, the same VCs that backed companies like eBay and Allbirds. So why are they investing? Because Picasso, started by Zillow's co-founder, is changing the way people buy second homes. It's already done over $1 billion in real estate transactions, and the momentum is global. Record sales in Paris. They've got 8 homes in Cabo, and they just closed their most expensive home yet in London. No wonder gross profit grew 41% in 2024. The opportunity for you? You can invest now at just $2.80 a share. This isn't a crypto token or some vaporware idea. It's real equity in a real venture-backed company. But again, the price changes on May 29th. Head to Picasso.com/the flyover to get the full picture and make your move before that date. Again, that's PACASO.com/the flyover, or click the link in the show notes below. Still to come on the flyover, big moves in college sports, a wild hockey upset, and in Norway, a massive container ship ends up in someone's front yard. But first, let's see what's making news in finance. Here's how the markets closed on Friday. It was a down day across the board on Wall Street. The Nasdaq led the losses, falling around 1%, while both the S&P 500 and the Dow dipped just under 0.75%. Bitcoin also slid nearly 3% by day's end, continuing a choppy week in the crypto world. Meanwhile, gold moved in the opposite direction, up just over 2%, as investors shifted towards safe havens. Let's talk sports. Big shifts are coming to college football. Leaders are moving towards a straight seeding model for the postseason, meaning no more automatic first-round byes for conference champions. On the ice, Team USA is heading to the semifinals at the World Championship after a 5-2 win over Finland, thanks to 2 power play goals by Connor Garland. The Americans will face Sweden next. Meanwhile, Denmark shocked Canada with a 2-1 win, scoring the game winner with just 49 seconds left. It's only their second win ever over Canada at the Worlds. Over in the NBA, the league has released its 2025-26 All-Defensive Team. 6 players earned the honor for the first time, and the Oklahoma City Thunder were the only team with multiple players on the list. And finally, it's almost time for the greatest spectacle in racing. The 109th running of the Indy 500 takes place Sunday, and this year marks a big shift. It's the first time in 6 years the race will air on Fox after a long stretch with NBC. All eyes will be on American driver Joseph Newgarden, who's chasing history as he tries to become the first to win 3 straight. But he's got a hill to climb. He's starting all the way back in 32nd after a team scandal that shook up the grid. Coverage begins Sunday morning at 10 Eastern with the green flag set to drop at 12:45. Let's take a look at what's happening beyond our borders. For the first time since World War II, Germany has deployed permanent troops outside its borders, sending a unit to Lithuania's capital, Vilnius. The move is part of broader NATO efforts to strengthen defenses near the Russian border. In the biggest prisoner exchange since the war began, Russia and Ukraine each released 390 people this week, soldiers and civilians. bringing the total swap to 780. It's a rare moment of cooperation since the Russian invasion in 2022. And in Norway, one man woke up to a shock when a massive container ship ran aground and plowed into his front garden. He was asleep at the time and only found out when a neighbor came knocking in a panic. The ship missed the house by just a few feet. To find out more on these stories, go to jointheflyover.com and get today's email. Before we land today's episode, though, we've got a health update from Billy Joel, a brand new Peanuts musical, and the results from our poll. It's all next. All right, now it's time for Etc. Everything else we couldn't let you miss. First up, sadly, Billy Joel has canceled his upcoming U.S. tour after being diagnosed with a brain disorder called normal pressure hydrocephalus. It's affecting his hearing, vision, and balance. This one was particularly sad because Billy Joel was my very first concert, and in my carpool growing up, we knew every word to every track on Glass Houses. I'm definitely rooting for him and wish him well as he focuses on his health. Meanwhile, Apple TV Plus is giving the Peanuts gang a big summer spotlight with their first animated musical in 35 years. It's called Snoopy Presents a Summer Musical, and it premieres July 18th with original music by Ben Folds and Jeff Morrow. Expect camp adventures, a treasure map, and a concert to save the summer. And fun fact, Peanuts is turning 75 this year, a timeless classic. And with Memorial Day weekend here, we've got 31 meaningful ways your family can honor the day. And I want to share a few with you now, along with some organizations helping to make that happen. You could run a 5K to support the Wounded Warrior Project, have lunch with a veteran from a local senior living center, make a no-sew blanket for a VA patient through Soldiers Angels, write a letter of thanks to a soldier's family with 1,000,000 thanks. Donate flowers to Memorial Day Flowers, which honors fallen troops with red roses at their graves. Help build a home for a veteran family through Habitat for Humanity's Veterans Build. Send a care package through Operation Gratitude. Or find a volunteer opportunity that resonates most with you through volunteermatch.org. They'll help connect you with local ways to give back. For the full list of all 31 ideas, check out today's email edition. It's time for Pole Position, where we turn the mic over to you. Yesterday, we asked, are you traveling this Memorial Day weekend? 63% of you said no, 21% said only to my backyard, and 16% said yes. All right, I'm with the 21% of you. We've got a really fun neighborhood party plan, so I'll be sticking close to home. Plus, I have some other exciting Memorial Day plans. You can catch me on Monday for the Memorial Day Flyover Podcast. I'll be stepping in for the amazing Ayla Brown. So my holiday weekend is stacking up to be a lot of fun. All right, here is today's question. Which is your favorite meat for Memorial Day grilling? Your choices are hot dogs, hamburgers, ribs, chicken, steak, other, all of them, or none. I've got my pick, and I'll let you know how I answered tomorrow. All right, it's trivia time. Today's question, which state is home to the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise? Now, most people would say Kentucky, and that makes total sense. After all, the original KFC restaurant, known as Sanders Cafe, is in Corbin, Kentucky. That's where the Colonel started serving up his signature fried chicken during the Great Depression. It's even a historic landmark today. But here's the twist. While the chicken started in Kentucky, the brand name Kentucky Fried Chicken didn't show up until 1952, when Sanders franchised his recipe to Pete Harmon, a restaurant owner in Salt Lake City, Utah. A sign painter suggested the name to give it some extra flair. So the first franchise and the name we all know started in Utah. Kentucky's where it was born, but Utah's where it strutted onto the national stage in a white suit carrying a secret recipe. The more you know. I'm already thinking dinner thoughts of something crispy, seasoned to perfection, and served with plenty of Southern flair. All right, that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday with me. I will be right back here tomorrow with everything you need to know to start your week off informed. And hey, maybe just even a little smarter than you are today. Until then, enjoy the weekend, soak up the sunshine if you've got it, and don't forget to breathe a little slower now that Maycember is almost over. And hey, if you want to learn more about today's sponsor, sign up for the email edition, or find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen, just check out the links in the show notes. Thanks for flying with us. See you tomorrow.